Good morning and welcome to the June membership meeting. Hope you're having a good summer so far. Hope your families are safe and you're well. And without any further ado, I'll get into the President's report. Power and Utilities working their regular schedule, 8061s on 710s. Engine plant will be taking a 2-week shutdown the 4th and 11th, and we're looking for work for the trades who wanted to work who would be forced on vacation. Dearborn truck plant will be taking a 2-week shutdown the 27th and the 4th, and all trades were identified as working in the April 1st letter that we received. Body currently working regular schedule, paint regular schedule, final some project overtime, central 100% to sign up, and Rev C 100% to sign up. DDMP working some overtime on various projects. Tool and die building, regular schedule and some overtime. Dearborn stamping plant, area A, overtime is necessary. Area B, regular schedule. Facilities, overtime on various projects. We're headquarters, 710s. VSC working the regular schedule. Rev C, the plans to onboard more skilled trades, a lot more skilled trades, so they can move to a 7-on 7-off pattern in January. However, none of the requisitions needed to make that happen are in the system or approved, so that's where that's at. Transportation, they're still looking on board drivers from a site-wide posting they did, and I think they had a couple people with valid credentials and that had passed the test, so they'll probably be going total local 600. I think was the plan, to go total local 600 and then to the street if we can't fill the need for the transportation department. Regional news, Young Workers Council feeding the less fortunate. They're trying to replenish the SOS Resource Center in Ypsilanti, and you can bring non-perishable canned food, personal care needs, and children items to Region 1A. July 10th through the 15th will be summer school up at Black Lake. August 7th through 12th will be the Women's Conference up at Black Lake. August 14th through the 19th will be the Veterans Conference, also in Black Lake. August 28th through September 2nd will be the Civil and Human Rights Conference. And September 19th through 21st will be the CAP Conference in Lansing. Also, save the date, the Region 1A Charity Golf Outing will be Friday, September 16th. So if you're interested in doing that, please feel free. Health and safety, summer shutdown's coming, so please work safe. Take your time, work safe. Make sure it's locked out. Make sure you've done the pre-task and the JSA, and don't get pinched up and get hurt. UAW Constitutional Convention will be the 25th through the 28th. Joint apprenticeship, we currently have 69 apprentices on course. Oh no, actually 83 apprentices on course, and they'll be adding 11 more apprentices through the rest of the year. And I wanted to take a minute before we end to discuss the April 1st letter. You've heard me reference it, and I've gotten a lot of questions about it over the last few weeks, and I wanted to explain a little bit on what the April 1st letter means and how that affects us as tradespeople. So in Article 9, Section 25 of Volume 1, they talk about the vacation scheduling, and vacation scheduling would be robust, and you can have as much time off as you have in your bank, and everything's fine. But there is a certain time that they specifically call out as being crucial to the vacation scheduling, and that's the 1 week or 2 week shutdown that they call a vacation shutdown. And that's when we do all of our maintenance, and we go in and change things and add and subtract and whatever, move stuff around, MP&L, add to the line, subtract from the line. So there's two parts of Article 9, Section 25. The first part is on March 1st, they have to identify which weeks will be the shutdown weeks and which plants will be taking them. So that's the first part. March 1st, they send us a letter and they say, these plants will be taking the shutdown and these are the weeks that they're shutting down. Then on April 1st, they owe us a letter to identify who will be working during that shutdown period. Whoever is not identified in that April 1st letter is assumed to be forced on vacation. Why is that important? That's important to us because on April 1st, when they identify who is working and who is being forced to work, they can deny vacation during those 2 weeks or 1 week. Meaning that if you wanted to go to Disneyland on the week of July 4th, you could be denied that vacation because you were identified as being forced to work, and you cannot take vacation during those 2 weeks. So let's assume for a minute that they tell us, like they did in truck plant, for the 27th and the 4th, the weeks of, all our trades are working. But prior to that, something happens. None of the parts showed up. Something happened where they came to me and said, hey, I can't work all my trades. At that point, you don't have to burn vacation. Those 2 weeks were identified as being working, and now they're considered layoff weeks, and you would go on a TLO, not forced vacation. So let's flip that around. Let's assume that truck plant said on April 1st, no one's working, we're having a shutdown and we're only running fire watch. And then between now and then they came and said, hey, we changed our mind, we do have a big project up on the cow line, or we've got a big project up in chassis, or we've got a big project on tire and wheel, we need people to work. If you've already been identified as being forced on vacation, you can't be forced to work. You can take vacation those 2 weeks, and you can't be forced to work those 2 weeks. So the converse is true. So I wanted to clarify that because we had a lot of questions and calls on what the April 1st letter means and how it affects us. And it's, it's really a protection of sorts. It's on one hand, it's unfortunate that you can be denied the weeks of those vacations, but on the other hand, on April 1st, they tell you, hey, you're not working, you're on vacation. You can go make plans and do your thing, and you don't have to change those plans. You can't be forced to change those plans. You've already been identified as being on vacation. We did change, in 2019, we changed the letter for Christmas shutdown canvassing. We do have a letter in there that talks about canvassing for the shutdown period, but that's primarily for people, if they're not working 100%, they're just working some, and you might have people who did want to be off on vacation and some people who did want to work, or maybe you didn't want to work all your RDOs, but you did want to work some. And so that's why we have that canvas in there to get as far ahead as we can to kind of let the project coordinators and the leaders and management to a lesser extent know what kind of manpower they have to look forward to and what kind of manpower they can use to plan their projects. So that's why we put that canvas in there. Because if they weren't planning on forcing everyone to work, we kind of did need to know what our manpower looked like. So I wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive. You probably already knew that, but if you didn't, now you know. So with that, I wanted to say thank you. I also wanted to say please have a safe and happy 4th of July. Questions, comments, concerns, please call me, text me, call the room, call your district guy. If there's somewhere we haven't been and you haven't seen us in a while, you want us back on the floor or back over in your plant, we'd be happy to do so. With that, I want to thank Mike Young for doing the recording. I do want to wish you a happy and safe 4th of July. God bless, keep your family safe, and thank you very much.